Perhaps you already know the story about which wolf will you feed. If you haven't heard it yet, I'll share it with you today. There are a lot of versions of this story going around. The basic premise of it comes from some Native American stories that were shared, where a grandfather, the sagely chief, is talking to his grandson about two wolves that exist inside of him. Two wolves. One of these wolves is dark and sinister and evil and represents everything bad. The other one is light and joyful and represents everything that is good. And these two wolves are fighting viciously inside of him. The young grandson asks, "Grandfather, which of these wolves will win?" And the grandfather answers, "The one that I feed." I love this story because it represents something that is so powerful in our psychology. We have all kinds of thoughts going on in our mind. Which thoughts are receiving our nurturing or our attention, our precious life energy? Whichever ones we feed are the ones that will become the most prominent, and they will affect our behaviors. I love the way that Earl Nightingale put this as well. He talked about our mind and compared it to a fertile field that will yield an abundance of anything that we plant and nurture within that field. If we plant corn, then an abundance of corn will be returned to us. If we plant nightshade, I didn't even know what nightshade was, but he pointed out that this is a deadly poison. The field will return an abundance of poison. Field doesn't care. It's ready to return to us whatever we nurture. Years ago, I heard Wayne Dyer share a story comparing our thoughts to mental currency, money. If I gave you $1 million, you like this game so far? And you take this bushel of money and you go down to the mall. You can buy anything you want. You got $1 million. So as you walk into the mall, you come into the first store. And that first store is selling plastic trees. And they're not very attractive. In fact, you look around and you think, none of these are what I would want in my home or my office. You find one in the back that is particularly disgusting. The thing is orange and it's plastic and it's, ew, who would ever want it? You look down at the price tag and it says $30,000. What? 30 grand for the ugly plastic tree? Who would ever want that? Who would ever pay their hard-earned money to get something as hideous as that tree? You reach into your pocket, you pull out $30,000, put it on the counter. Here's my 30 grand, send it to my house. Gosh. Then you storm out of there mad. And then you go into the next store. They're selling pots, probably for the trees, I don't know. And you look around and you see a bunch of ugly, hideous, disgusting ceramic pots. And you're puzzled about why anyone would ever want these. You found one that's particularly disgusting. You look at the price tag, $10,000. Here's my 10 grand, send it to my place. Man, this is not going well. What is wrong with this story? On several different levels, we got a problem here, don't we? And then you go home to your house, and what do you find it filled with? All this crap that you don't want. Where did it come from? You bought it. Yeah, and we're not talking about money, are we? We're talking about your mental currency. What are you buying with your thoughts? What are you spending your thoughts on? How many of those precious mental dollars are you spending on things that you can't do? Things you're not good at? How often do you think about that or spend your currency on that? And then what does it fill your life up with? I have a friend who put it this way. He said, whatever we think about comes about. Whatever we focus on, we feel. We've got some mental currency here. How are we spending it? Which wolf are we feeding? Which wolf are you feeding? This is one of several principles that are taught in the Nova Principles program. You may have noticed my shirt today is a Nova Principles shirt. I sit on the board of directors. This is a program where we train law enforcement personnel to go into the schools and teach a principle-based curriculum to kids. I am so honored to be on the Nova board of directors, and I would invite you to explore whether Nova would be a good thing to bring into your community. Go to novaprinciples.com.
And I tell her how to look into my eyes and never let it